Ryan here. Today we're going to be looking at one of the cheapest air impact sets on Amazon. And I say sets, everyone, because this comes with sockets. There are some cheaper ones, but they don't necessarily come with sockets and all the bits and pieces you need with it. So, just as a disclaimer here, everyone, they did send this to me for free to review. And we're going to be looking at the Urceri compact air impact there. There's the name. I'm not 100% sure how to say that, but let's check it out. Okay, everyone, so the packaging on the unit here, at least the exterior packaging, the brown box here, not too fancy. There's not a whole lot on it compared to, say, some other companies' boxes. Does come in a case here, which I know some people might like, some people maybe don't. Of course, you know, if it does come in a case, you don't have to use it, but if you do want the case, there you go. Inside the case here, we of course have the unit itself, which is a little bit oily there. That's kind of interesting. But that's what the unit looks like. Nice and compact. Not very heavy either compared to, say, this unit here, which I'm just kind of using for reference. By the way, this is a Harbor Freight model. But yes, relatively lightweight. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how well it impacts. This claims 450 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. Again, there we go with that breakaway torque number there, everyone. A little bit of nonsense going on with that. Comes with 10 sockets, an extension. There's supposed to be, there's supposed to be oil in here, but I don't know, everyone. I thought it said it came with oil. I don't see any oil in there, but there is an oiler bottle there. That's fine, I don't need oil. And then we also have some Teflon. That's interesting. It actually comes with Teflon tape, huh? How many impacts do you see that come with Teflon tape? Comes with a little filter / oiler, and then a connection for your airline quick connect as well. If I could get, there, it's right there. Okay, so sockets here. What do we got for sockets? Looks like this is the smallest one here. 9mm. Oh my goodness. Okay. 10. These are all going to be metric. Well, that's going to be kind of disappointing. 11. Up to 27 mil. Okay, so these are all metric sockets. I guess if you're working on automotive, everyone, that's probably pretty good. In my case here, I thought we'd be demonstrating on this particular unit here, which all has good old, I don't know, are they considered American fasteners, standard fasteners, right? So, 17? What is this one? This is 14. 14. Then it goes up to 17. So it doesn't even have like 15, everyone. 15 millimeters is like a common metric size there if you're working on automotive. And doesn't even have that. That's kind of interesting. It does have 13. 13 is fairly common. 17 is fairly common. No 15 though. It has 14 instead. I'd take a point off for that one myself, everyone. Sockets though look like they're overall very nice. Very nicely done there. Very smooth, polished, very clean. Yeah, those are some fairly nice looking sockets. And just a quick closer look at the controls here. Of course, we have the trigger, pretty standard on all air impacts there. We do have forward and reverse right by the trigger here. It is ambidextrous, so you can use it from either side. And there's also a speed / torque control underneath here as well. Settings 1 through 3. Again, that works from either side. Well, that's interesting. You can only get, oh, there's number 1. Okay, there's number 1. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. I was confused there because I seen the number 1 here, everyone, but no, this number 1 here corresponds to the number 1 on this side. So again, ambidextrous controls there. Okay, well, without further ado, let's put it through its paces here. We're going to start with this tire right here, see if we can loosen up some bolts on that. We're going to be using a 7/8 socket here. Again, I was hoping to use the sockets that came with that one, but I did not realize they were all metric. So everything on this tractor is standard. Oh well. Also have the extension here as well. We're going to try to avoid using this, but just keep in mind, anytime you use an extension with an impact, it does take away a little bit of your torque. It's not the fact that it's an extension, it's the fact that it adds an additional connection there, which can take away from that torque. Same thing with an adapter or anything like that you put on an impact. So let's see what happens here. Oh, and if you hear it leaking a little bit, I was lazy and I didn't put any Teflon on it, even though it came with it in the package. So let's see what happens. Okay, just realized I had my air pressure turned down low there to 60 PSI because I was using the air sander on it. So I just turned that back up here. Let's see what's going to work now. not looking good for 450 foot-pounds of torque. So. There it goes. Finally got that one. These should not be that tight, so. So run it back in here. We do have it on high, right? Yes. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, well, it's not looking too good for this. Not looking too good at all. I figured at 450 foot-pounds of breakaway torque, everyone, it should have no problem taking these out. So, I've got an old Craftsman here. This is supposed to be like around 150 foot-pounds of torque. 150, not 450. So let's hear if this will take any of these out. Let's see what happens here. Out it came. Yeah, I shouldn't really start it with your impact. Start it by hand. Good way to wreck threads. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay, it's struggling on the same one the Urceri did as well. Okay, well, let's break out the big dogs, see if the big dogs can do it here. Again, this is Harbor Freight's model. Now this one does have quite a bit more power, or claims to have quite, let me use that. Claims to have quite a bit more power than this one does. The one thing I noticed right off the difference here, well, first off, this one isn't compact. This one is also significantly heavier. Big difference. This one has some weight to it. And this is the bolt here that both the Craftsman and the Urceri struggled on. So let's see what happens. Ripped it right out of there. Not like it was even there, so which is what I would have expected. And let's see what's here. They also couldn't get this one, wasn't it? Ripped it right out of there as well, almost like it's not even there. Okay, one last test here for this impact. I just finished torquing these down here. They are roughly right around 140, 150 foot-pounds of torque. Keep in mind again, 450 braking pounds. And being that I just torqued these down at 450, claimed, again, let's make sure you note that, claimed foot-pounds of torque here, this should have no problem. So, we are in reverse. We are on setting 3. Sounds like it's got some power. Okay, well, so far I'm not overly impressed here. We're going to give this one more last chance here. If it doesn't do this one, it's going to be a fail here. So, I've got these two bolts loosened here. Hopefully you can, here, let me do that. You can see it, it's loose. That one here loose as well. I'm going to tighten these down to 100, just so you can see it here. 100 foot-pounds of torque. And we're going to attempt to loosen them. So this is a click-stop torque wrench. Here. 100 foot-pounds. This is typically how I would tighten the tires on my vehicle down. So if this can't take those off, I'm sorry, when this impact is useless. Okay, so that's 100 foot-pounds of torque. That's 50 less than these. These should have been at 150 per the other torque wrench there. And just for curiosity's sake here, this is number 3. That's number 3. We're going to turn it to number 2. Doesn't sound that much different to me. And then finally, number 1. Doesn't seem like that changes a whole lot of anything, just from the visual sound of things. Okay, let's see what happens. Again, we're in reverse. We're on setting 3. Keep in mind, this is like the best case scenario here for this. These have just been tightened down. You know, we haven't had time for rust or anything else to set in here yet. So let's see what happens. Oh, I got that one. Okay, let's try the next one. I did pretty good on that one. Okay, so about 100 foot-pounds there. Keep in mind, we just torqued those down. Okay, well, I think the verdict is in here, at least for me. This is not going to be recommended by me here, everyone. The Urceri, 450 foot-pounds of torque it claims. Breakaway torque, everyone. We barely maybe get 100. Barely 100. It is breaking it away at 100, everyone. 150, it is not. So, yeah, let me disconnect that here. So yes, just it is nice and lightweight. It is nice and compact. I think that lightweight factor, everyone, is what is hurting this here. It's too light. It doesn't have the impact it needs to have to break things away. So I don't know why that is. By the way, everyone, if you think, I do have it being oiled here. I do have an oiler on here, so I don't think that's the reason to do it. In fact, you can tell by the bottom here, there's oil coming out down there. So it is getting oiled. That has nothing to do with it. Yeah, nope, don't recommend it here, everyone. Do not recommend it. It has a nice case. Has some nice sockets that comes with it. They are all metric. Keep that in mind. You know, so like if you're going to be doing automotive work, the only problem is, everyone, what are you going to use it on? It doesn't have any torque. If you can't even take your tires off, which again, at least on my truck, everyone, 100 foot-pounds of torque, that's when they're just put on. You know, give them a couple 100 miles of use down the road, let a little, you know, the rust and the corrosion and everything else set in there, and you're probably looking at, what, you need 200 pounds to break and loose, maybe? I don't know, just throwing a number out there. So, yeah, nope, just nope, everyone. Do not recommend it. So, there you go. One of the cheapest air impacts on Amazon with sockets and all the other accessories that come with it. There are, again, cheaper ones, but some of those don't necessarily come with all the extra goodies, if you will. So, with that in mind, everyone, what would I recommend? If you're looking for a cheap one, I don't think you can go wrong with this here, everyone. I've had this for quite some time now. 700 foot-pounds, I believe it is. 700 foot-pounds of torque. This has been a great impact. This thing is heavy, and it does have some torque. So on that note, everyone, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to throw them down in the comments below. Yeah, hope you folks enjoyed. This video definitely didn't turn out the way I was expecting. I was hoping this would be a nice little impact here. I figured it'd probably be a little lower on the torque side, but not that low, everyone. Not that low. That just, again, I don't know what you do with it. So, thanks for watching, and until next time.